This video is brought to you today by patrons who are just like you, who support this channel so I can spend more of my time making informative content to help you become the best you can be. Patrons, just like Shadow Wolf, who started contributing 4 years ago. I am proud to say that Shadow has become a great friend who calls me up from time to time just to ask, how am I doing? He is a great guy and someone I am honored to be called his friend. www.patreon.com/Ron Perry. And thank you to everyone who contributes. Well, good morning, my friends. Today, well, I've been trying to make this video for about a week now. About a week and a half, because it was supposed to come out last Wednesday, and then this Wednesday went past, and now it's the weekend, and I'm starting to stress out. So I started investing in a few things, hopefully to fix our problems. I got a lavalier mic. Can't figure out how to get it to work. This seems to be working, but I don't know if it really is. Anyways, this video should be my last build video for this project. The next video in this series is basically just going to show the finished product and have me box it up and get it ready for the client so that he can pick it up and have a lot of fun with building his layout and having this model, which I consider probably the best model I've ever made. So I want to thank everybody who's watching the video. I got a little intro there on Patreon, and hopefully you guys like that. Anybody who becomes a patron, I'd be happy to give your YouTube channels or whatever you're doing in your hobby a shout out as part of my videos. It'd be the least I can do to give back to anybody who's supporting my videos. So thank you to anybody who supports the channel. It means a great deal, and I look forward to becoming your friend. Things are moving fast in the channel's little channel sphere here. Things that I've wanted to do my whole life are coming into fruition, and I've said in the past that I got a new job. I love the new job. The problem is the job doesn't really pay that well. So I went out and looked for another job, something that pays a little bit better, so that I can, get out there and work for the family and be able to have extra money so I can save for their education and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to work as hard as you can for a company and they don't show the appreciation by paying you for your efforts. So it's of my opinion that if there's anybody going to advocate for Ron Perry, it's going to be Ron Perry. If nobody else is going to do it for me, I got to do it for myself. And as a father, I can't go out and leave everything as a passion project. Trains or no trains, I got to make good money so that my kids have the best start in life that they can have. And that's something that I intend to do. So let's get into this video. Let's crack it out, and hopefully you're liking this model as much as I am, because I'm really beginning to like it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the other side. So talking to the client, we went through a bunch of photographs and noticed that in the time period that we wanted to build this structure at, well, it was economically it wasn't a good time for the railroads in St. Thomas, Ontario. So a bunch of the windows, the majority of all the windows on the bottom floor, were covered up with plywood so that people wouldn't get in and steal all the goodies that were inside, if there were any left, mind you. I remember a story listening from one of the guys who were renovating the building. They found in the basement oodles and oodles of bottles of liquor. Clearly a few boxcars were broken into, and a couple of cases were taken, and that's either where the workers left their stash of bottles, or maybe that's where they had their naps after having a couple of swift drinks. So I used a window and traced myself out a template for one window, and started cutting out these pieces of plywood from scrap strips of microply. This stuff is great. That's why I tell you to put it to the side, keep this stuff, because it always comes in handy for different little things. And in this case, it's sheets of plywood covering up the windows to keep vagrants out. Now, in hindsight, I should have probably did a little bit of weathering on the plywood pieces, but I thought I was going to take the pictures and do each board the same as what I seen in the picture, which is a little anal when I think about it. But that's how we get sometimes. The river countery kind of guy. I get that way with models sometimes. If I have a photograph, holy smokes, do I ever dig into the details. But the problem being was that sometimes the glue seeped out and it got onto the wood. And as we all know, if a glue gets onto the wood, it's really hard for you to stain that wood after the fact. Now, on the photograph, I had noticed that the majority of the windows were smashed out, obviously because of the people who were breaking into the structure. But a lot of the windows were left on, and I noticed that because one of the plywoods were on the back of the window, and then the top portion of the plywood was put on the front portion of the window. That's just for the security reasons, I think, of how to place the wood. I don't know, I would have had to been there to figure out why they did that, maybe. After that, I made quick work of placing the windows on the front side, on the top, and on the back side. I put them on the bottom. It took a little bit of time to do this, but it was actually by cutting out my wood first and having a big pile of wood there ready to go. I easily whacked through that. Moving on. Wow, it's a big building. You start doing something, you think you're done, you look over and you got 3 feet left to go. So I took the plywood and I put it above the doors, and started to think, while I was looking at the photographs, that something looked a little screwy. But I didn't know what it was just yet. So after putting in a few more windows, a few more the plywood above the doors, and thinking about it, and then looking at my monitor where I've got the photograph up of all the windows, I finally got it. 2 of the windows were remade into doors. And I can see how they're thin like the windows at the same width of a window, but they're doors for sure. And so I had to, do what I, set out to do with every model. Make the model exactly like the photograph and cut those doors in. So that's exactly what I did. Cut the model down. I don't really have a good cutting anything right now. The Dremel really didn't have the ability to cut it because every time I got in there, the blade was chamfered. It was on a weird angle, so it couldn't cut the side of the wall properly without damaging the wood below. And that, if I damaged the wood below with the Dremel blade, that would be kind of permanent. So I did what I had to do and pull out the oldest gosh darn saw that I had. And this bugger is 100 years dull, and cut down the walls. And by Jove, it worked. Well, now it wasn't pretty, but I didn't cut on the floor or the outside deck, so that's a good thing. I finished her off with the razor blade, and just left her be because I was a little stressed out at that point. A little stressed out, maybe a little underplaying the whole feeling. I was stressed right out. So I moved on and started weathering all our boards with a very light strength ink and alcohol solution, the kind of which can be found in one of my old videos from like 5-6 years ago. Man, I've been doing this a long time. Now, after I was done putting on my ink and alcohol solution, I went to my favorite old steel wool and vinegar stain. That's the stuff that really gets into the wood and makes it really, really dark and really weathered look. Like it's like times 10 of what ink and alcohol will do. So I put that in the bottom of the windows because that's where the rainwater really fell down on the wood and it really got into the wood real good. So I put a bunch of that on, and I felt like that looked really good. So let that stain overnight, and it takes a little while for that stuff to oxidize, and I let that get in there real good to get its full effect. Now, something from the beginning of the build was sticking out at me throughout this whole thing, and it's been bugging me for a long time, and that's the red brick that's been showing through the fascia on the top of the wall. I just hated it. It was always showing up on me, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I put the wall on its end and painted the fascia up in antique white or maybe a parchment white, just an off-white color, something just to cover that up nice. I let that dry overnight and then added some ink and alcohol, but this time I used my strong strong bottle. You know, I got a couple of bottles of ink and alcohol here. Some of them have drops, and some of them have the ink poured right in. Um, let's call it one coat style. The kind you just use one coat and it's done. Sometimes you just have to go for it. You know what I mean? Well, after that, we have downspouts for our water to, keep from going down on the passengers on our boardwalk here. So to match the photos, I painted them nice and dark gray. Maybe it was a pewter gray. I can't remember at the moment. But painted them up and let them dry good and cured them up good. After I let the downspouts dry for a few hours, I applied them to the building with weld bond glue. Specifically because it dries clear. You know the story. I've said it a billion times already over the last 10 years. It hides itself, does all the hard work. Anyways, even if you have some glue that seeps out on the sides, have yourself a wet brush ready so that you can clean that stuff up good and quick. Then you won't have any problems when it's all dry. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but to me, on the video, it looks yellow. But I'm painting over little muck-ups that I got on the brick with, what is it, raw sienna? Surely it isn't burnt sienna. Yeah, raw sienna. The orangey one. I've used that to paint over the brick to fix up all the pieces. Later on, I'll mix a bit of raw sienna. I'm sure that's what it's called. With, some maybe some burnt sienna. You see how I did that there? Or brick red. Mixing those together, get the color of the brick to match up just like before. This kit is going so long, tell you the truth, I can't remember what I painted the brick at. Red oxide. That's what it was, from a rattle can, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I'll come back with a little bit of masking and paint some red oxide over those parts to get them all fixed up nice. Thanks for telling me, guys. Yeah, good guys, yeah. Left that to the end, didn't you? Anyways, just kidding. I've had a lot of trouble getting this video out with work and feeling under the weather and all kinds of stuff. Well, and also especially the computer is broken probably 3 or 4 different times, which isn't your problem, it's all my problem. But I'm gonna stop this video here, and I'm gonna show a vlog later on with maybe some of the stuffs that I didn't get to put into this video. I just wanted to get this video out because I haven't gotten to do that yet. Thanks for watching.